Ring is a hard game, and it teaches you the lesson that sometimes you just gotta get good. If you can embrace the suck and beat the game, it's quite an accomplishment. FromSoft, who's created Elden Ring, as well as Dark Souls, and Sekiro, amongst other games such as Bloodborne, are infamous for creating games that will humble even the most aggressive Giga Chad players. My first time playing Elden Ring, I recall spending 4 or 5 hours trying to beat Margit, 5 hours trying to beat Godric, 3 hours trying to beat that first sentinel that you meet in the opening area. And the entire time, all I thought to myself is, you goddamn meatball, you can't do it, you suck. And that is the lesson to get good. Well, today the story is about somebody named Distortion2. The entire game, he tried to become the Elden Lord, and as a homage, I personally believe that Elden Ring should rename Elden Lord to Distortion Lord, because what this fucking monstrosity has accomplished is a sub 7-minute speedrun world record for the game. Now, this might sound like, oh, whatever, I just like to play the game. I think speedrunning just ruins, it takes the fun out of everything. Saw somebody tweet that at his sub 7. To you, you're a fucking weenie, all right? Listen up. You don't really know what you're talking about. Don't really get that. But it goes much deeper than that. Distortion2 has sort of a background and a backstory to what brought him to become the Distortion Lord. He debuted on YouTube on March 26th of 2014, starting by speedrunning Dark Souls 2. So he's very familiar with FromSoft games, and if there's sort of any lesson to be had here by his monstrosity of a speedrun, is that he likes to be tied down when it's time to perform. He doesn't like an easy dump. He doesn't like an easy pump. He wants to work for his accomplishments in life as he plays games such as Dark Souls and Neo and Sekiro and Elden Ring, which requires the mental fortitude of, quite frankly, a sociopath. I mean, these are some crazy things that he's doing. From Dark Souls 2, he has actually built a name for himself within the FromSoft community by still holding and previously establishing speedrun world records within the category any percent. Now, what does any percent mean? We're going to drop something right here so that you can read it. There's sort of one premise. You don't have to kill any of the bosses. All you must do is complete the game, and glitches are allowed. It seems pretty simple, right? It just means get to the end of the game, and no matter what it takes to do so. And the fastest time that I have seen out of any of the FromSoft games until now has been Dark Souls 2 in 14 minutes and 40 seconds. Now, this in and of itself is a phenomenal sort of once-in-a-lifetime black swan. Sometimes it takes me 15 minutes to take a shit. Sometimes it takes me 15 minutes to walk out the door. Sometimes it takes me 15 minutes to put one leg of my pants on. 15 minutes to cook myself a pizza. There's a lot of things that take 15 minutes. Beating Dark Souls 2 should not be one of those things, but nonetheless, it was. And within all of these categories, I'm going to show you right here where Distortion2 still falls. He still has a spot in 2 specific categories for any percent speedrun records. Sekiro, still being on the leaderboard, is Distortion2, and Dark Souls 2, sitting at the number 5 spot, is Distortion, establishing his name and his supremacy across the galaxy for what will be forever. But let's just set aside Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Sekiro, Bloodborne, all these different FromSoft games, and sort of take this at face value and why I truly believe this sub 7-minute run is something that is honestly historic. You were likely not going to get to witness something so hype, something so big balled in your lifetime again. I genuinely think this is crazy, and why it's nuts is all of the Souls games, all of the FromSoft games are much smaller in size. To get through Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, if you were to think about loading up the entirety of the map, even Sekiro, which is a pretty decent sized map, Elden Ring trumps all of these things. It's like looking at a 12-inch penis alongside a millimeter painter. There's just no comparison. The big schlong dong is going to obviously outmass that millimeter painter. You know, even if it's the motion of the ocean, you can go on whatever you want to say about that. But at the end of the day, it's just bigger. You can't debate the size of the game. The Elden Ring speedrun record being under 7 minutes, being 6 minutes and 59 seconds, is twice as fast as the fastest speedrun record across Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and Sekiro. Not even close. It's not even remotely close. And the way that this sort of happened is through a zip. Now, there's a much easier explanation. If you want to read this in detail, Distortion2 does a great job of sort of outlining what a zip is, but I will read off what I find to be the most important piece. A zip glitch allows us to teleport a wide range of distances using a combination of blocking, holding walk, and pressing W to move forward with a combination of 139 frames. If the two actions add up to 139, you teleport, and this distance can vary depending on the combination. The longer you hold W, the further you go. Some zips are so precise that you need the walk and block duration to line up perfectly, which makes them double frame perfect. Now, let me tell you, I wasn't good at math. I'm not good at geometry, you know, the abstract sort of thoughts, whatever. So, you know, my brain, the way that I process this essentially is you're trying to take advantage of very small key frames per second in which you're able to catapult your player forward into a different location. And this can be controlled by the manual player who is controlling your character so that you can get him to go further, to not go as far. You have to time up sort of the time frame in which you want to push your character forward to get them in the exact location. Speaking from experience, I've watched Distortion2 play this game. I've sat, you know, I finished streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/antijuicer in case you'd like to come hang out. I watched Distortion2 play. And this man, I've watched struggle for hours and hours and hours trying to get a zip down. So the amount of practice it takes to get these must be sort of recognized. And I know there's going to be people who watch this who say to themselves, look, man, you know, zips are cheating, zips are this, zips are that, whatever. But I didn't know that him zipping affected your own gameplay. You know, if you truly think that this sort of speedrun record is affecting your ability to enjoy the game, I think that you probably just have to look at the game differently. I don't know. But at the end of the day, this Giga Chat, this Elden Lord, brought down the world record from his first run. By the way, he has managed to amass himself many records along the way. Starting at 49 minutes and 29 seconds and working down to 37:15, 36:20, 33:55, 28:59, all the way down to 6:59, has cemented himself into Elden Ring history as one of the greatest players of all time. Now, to me, maybe somebody beats this. At the end of the day, what this comes down to is who's got the mental fortitude to bang their head against the wall enough times and not get a headache and not walk away and to keep banging your head against the wall. Because really what you're practicing here is the ability to just time things, which isn't fun. It's not sexy. The sort of commitment that it would take, the mental energy that it would take to practice something like this. We're lucky that he joined the good guys, all right? If he ended up being a villain, if this was the final boss, you had to fight Malekith, and Malekith is Distortion 2, you had to fight the Elden Beast, and Elden Beast is Distortion 2, nobody would beat the game because this man practiced it to a T down to 6:59. He cemented the way for other speedrunners along the way to sort of get good at the game, which is ultimately the goal for all of us. It's so cool, in fact, that Moist Critical, Penguin Zero, has actually reached out to him and mentioned how freaking insane his runs have been. And something that I found to be pretty encouraging, you know, in that sort of conversation, that dialogue that was had, is he encourages competition. He wanted Penguin Zero to get good at the game. He wanted other players to compete. In fact, there were other players along his speedrunning sort of endeavor that have challenged him and have for momentary periods of time, as you know, this is the the Distortion Lord. I mean, you can't expect when the game is sort of fucked. You can't beat the game. This man's the game, you know, who have challenged him for his speedrun world record spot, and he just reclaims it. I mean, that's it at the end of the day, and he still pushes for that competition, which is phenomenal. Didn't kill any bosses for this world record. He spends 12 to 14 hours a day on Twitch practicing and grinding in front of everybody to show the authenticity behind the accomplishments that he is slaving down on. He died once in this world record, in case you're curious. For Mega Chad purposes, it was to speed up the run. It was against who would be Lou. You know, if you know, you know. You know, it's the lion guy. It's the second to last boss before you actually go and fight the Elden Beast. He died to him just to speed things up. This man, you know, if I can sum this up in any sort of way, I can't piss in 7 minutes. I can't cook pizza rolls in my microwave in 7 minutes. I can't last in bed for 7 minutes. I mean, this is truly something that's phenomenal. This is the definition of, hey, I'm on my lunch break. Now I've got time to beat Elden Ring 3 times. I mean, it's just the accomplishment at hand here is pretty nutty. And if there's any grand takeaway to this story that I find to be worthwhile, it's that this is an inspiration for people to just fucking get good. That's about what I got. Catch y'all later. Oh, hi. Oh, I didn't see you there. Well, since you're here, check out this video. And also that video. And maybe Twitch, which is down there, fucker. Have a good night.